Hello FitBuzzers and welcome to Build Your S-curvish shred belly, aka why should you work the abs at the end of your workout. Alright, so if you got an email, you already know what's what. But for those who didn't get the email, basically what we are focusing on here is to help build your abs while increasing your calorie intake. Especially for those of you who have to increase your calorie intake because you know that you are not eating enough, and to become S-curvish, you have to increase your intake, okay? Yes, you are eating your meals in a structured way on the programs now, which helps, but if you increase your calorie intake, you still can get a little bit puffy in the gut. This will help avoid that. So let's get into it. All right, so before we actually get into it, I'm gonna tell you why this is here quickly. Now, from a very young age, I started. In the first year that I started, I was, slim to average build, in the starting phase, and I didn't have any abs. There was no shred belly or any of that. Not how they are now, all right? And the thing that helped with that was working the abs, specifically working the abs intensely, all right? What I did then, I'm not gonna do now, and I would not show you to do now. If you read the email, look at that email and you'll see what I did. So what we're going to do today is what you should do at the end of each single workout, at least for 4 to 6 weeks, maybe longer, depending on your current situation. So let's get into it. All right, so first exercise then. First exercise, all right, no random order. What you're going to do is you got to do at least 2 of the exercises at the end of your workout. So it'll take about 10 to 15 minutes max. So the first exercise then is, now in good old FitBuzz fashion, S-curve workout fashion, we're going to make these more effective. So what you're going to do is find yourself a cable machine or get yourself some bands like so. And then what you could do is, now these bands, they're not set up properly on my feet right now, but when they are set up properly, well, if you just use cables, which is the easiest way, put the handles around your feet and you can increase resistance when you do your mountain climbers. Yes, it's an exercise that you already know, but we're making it more effective. It's a great exercise for what you need to do, all right? So, just mountain climbers. Now, as I said, the bands aren't set up properly, but when they are, you're increasing resistance, making it more difficult than it already is. If you use the cables, the cable is the resistance, so no brainer there. So you do that to failure. Once, twice, maybe 3 times. Next, let's do another one. Run on the spot. You've seen this a few times now, but this is super effective when you do the same thing 2 to 3 times. All right, before I begin, hands in front of you, forearms horizontal to the ground. Run on the spot. Make those knees touch those hands, okay? Breathe. Breathe. Breathe, keep breathing. If you don't breathe, you won't last. Breathe and then stop. When you're out of breath and you're knocked out, stop. And then do the same thing again. Next. You've seen me do this before as well. It is the leg raises, floor leg raises. Now, if you're near a cable machine, that will be the cable machine. And what you could do is put a relatively light weight on the machine, wrap the handle around your feet, okay? It's different for every single cable machine. It's very easy to do, all right? If you haven't got one, not a problem, you could do the exercise anyway. Bend the knees and do leg raises. Do about 8 reps in the center, all right, and do 8 reps to the side, okay, and then do 8 reps, come back to the center, do 8 reps to the other side. Remember, you got to use the inside foot to twist the legs, the body stays in exactly the same place, all right? Next we do bicycles with the band. You can do this with the cables. Again, very easy to do. Put the handles around your feet. So, see how easy it is to set up. 1, 2, done. Easy, right? So now that these are wrapped around, you've got added resistance there. Alright, and you could just do your bicycles. Keep the back, the ground, lift the elbow, bring it, and that's what's working the abs. The fact that your back is on the floor, but your elbows are coming up, and you're reaching to the knees, that's what's working the abs, without actually having to damage your back, which happens a lot when you do sit-ups. Alright? So, again, to failure 2 or 3 times. Last exercise then. It's an exercise that I leave to last because it is the most difficult one to do. And because of that, just do as many as you can to failure. Alright? It is the hanging leg raise. You've seen me do various combinations of this, but just for the end of your workouts, just do the normal hanging leg raises. Alright? It's the waist should stay in almost the exact same place. It's just the legs that move. Alright? To failure. Pretty simple. So that's it. We've done this today because a lot of you are increasing your intake, or you are just generally eating more in your workouts, in your tailored workouts. Alright? It's a lot of the tailored workouts that we're doing with a lot of you. It's a case of gauging how much is too much or how much is too little. Alright? In short, if it fills you up, if your calorie intake, your tailored calorie intake fills you up, then that's about right. If it leaves you too full and you feel like, oh, I'm gonna be sick, decrease it. It probably means that you're not as active in your workouts as you may think you are, because obviously the more active you become, the more your body will ask for in terms of food. Alright? So until that day, stick to an intake, even if it's a bit lower than your tailored intake. Stick to a lower amount that makes you feel okay. Alright? And to add to that, you do this at the end of each workout. Alright? So no matter if you're on the programs or not, add this to your regime for the next up until summer, I should say. And yes, you should look very fantastic to put the icing on the cake, I should say, for your bikini body or whatever physique that you have. Just make sure that when you're out in the sun, you look fantastic naked, because the sun is not going to let you hide. Alright, so until the next video, FitBuzzers, I'll see you then. Bye bye.